Hey guys, Pastor Mitch King here with another episode of Blameless. Want to say thank you for joining us for the show. And tonight we're going to be looking at some ministry that we're doing here at Forgiven, and we're going to look at some encouraging words from one of the Psalms. So thank you for joining us. Looking forward to seeing you in the show. Welcome to this second episode of Blameless. I'm Pastor Mitch King, and I'm glad you've joined us. As I mentioned in the introduction, we're going to share a ministry update with you, and I wanted to start off with that and let you know what's going on, because unless you've been living under a rock for the last 5 or 6 months, you know we're in a global pandemic. The coronavirus has definitely changed life in all aspects, mainly had a negative impact, and here at Forgiven, it's no different. The pandemic has impacted our ministry, and it has impacted it in a negative way. That's just being honest. Our primary focus for the last several years has been the One Day with God camps, and here in 2020, we've only been able to do 4 of them in January, February, and I think 1 in March, and the rest of them so far have been canceled. And of course, a couple left on the books for 2020. Miss Scotty is praying that God's going to open the prison doors, and if he does, we will go through and we will have those camps, and we'll just celebrate in a tremendous way. It may be sometime in 2021 before we get back into the prisons physically and do One Day with God camps. And they may look differently in the future. But, and here's the thing, with that not taking place right now, that is a change. And it's very possible when something like this happens, there's a sense of, that's primarily what we were doing. We're not doing those anymore, so maybe there's no ministry going on, and with the negative change, it's just like the ministry's over. Well, we are being impacted by the change, there's truth there, but we're not defeated. We don't feel like giving up. We are just seeking God and His leadership for ways to do ministry in our current environment. Now, change is not easy for any of us. We have something we're familiar with. It may not be perfect, but we have this sense of knowing that, okay, this is going to happen, this is how we're going to handle it, and we can rely on that. And when the familiar is taken away, we can feel overwhelmed. We don't know what to do. And it's distressing, it's confusing. But here's the good news. God hasn't changed. That's the incredible truth that we need to focus on. The Great Commission that Jesus gave to us there in Matthew 28, that's still in effect. We are still to go and make disciples. We're still to go and share the good news with those who are trapped in the darkness and need to hear the hope of Jesus and the light of the gospel of the kingdom that changes lives. That's still in effect. God hasn't taken a vacation during this pandemic, and He doesn't expect His children to take a permanent break either. So that's the good news. The Holy Spirit's still active. He's still empowering us. So we're not defeated. We're not just totally wiped out. We're just seeking His face for ways that we can do ministry in this environment. Now, as we've been praying and seeking God, we feel that one of the ways that He's going to have us to do ministry is to bring the children here. In the camps, we took the kids and the caregivers to a location, and since we're not doing the camps, they're not coming. So what we want to do is reach out and have them to come here to our facility at the Adams Center here at the Forgiven Ministries headquarters in Taylorsville, North Carolina. We're coming up in the development stages right now with a ministry called Partnering with Parents. We're wanting to reach out to grade school children, third grade and up, and the middle school and high school element. We'll break those up so they won't be together depending on who comes to this. But we want to minister to these kids. They're still in need of things, and we're going to provide a safe environment here, and we're going to provide tutoring and nurturing and fellowship and food, and we're going to point them to Jesus through Bible study and prayer and things like that. And we might even be able to expand this to do something for the caregivers. They're still having their family member in prison. They still are in need of restorative relationships. There still needs to be reconciliation. They're still dealing with feelings of bitterness and anger maybe and resentment. And we want to reach out and pray for those folks. So that's going on, and I just want to share with you that if you are familiar with a student in our area that may benefit from this, please contact our office, 828-632-6424, or email us at info@forgivenministry.org. You may be listening to this and you may want to help out, serve as a volunteer. Again, please contact our office and let us know. So just wanted to share that with you. We are doing ministry, and again, this Blameless video log or whatever it's called, it's not a podcast, but whatever it is, we're trying to use digital media to reach out with a message of hope and reconciliation that's found only in Jesus. So there's things we're doing, just want you to be aware of that. We do ask that you pray for the ministry as we continue to pray